How have rating rules evolved in direct selling contracts and policies and procedures? Good question. Some companies state that you can't recruit people that you didn't personally sponsor. If you personally sponsor a friend or a family member, then why can't you recruit them to join you at your new company? The short answer is that company policies have evolved over the years, resulting from a combination of increasing rating by distributors who switch companies on the one hand, and secondly, direct selling companies have become more rigid in trying to retain their sales force, sometimes with good reason and sometimes appearing to be an overreach. Leading direct selling companies, for instance, around 20 years ago, maintained a policy that required consultants to only offer the opportunity to people that they personally sponsored. That policy was common 20 years ago. Over time, that policy changed. With the increased ease of communication due to technology, many companies ask that consultants not participate in rating anyone in their organization while they were active with the company. The policy morphed again to require consultants not to sponsor anyone in a new opportunity except for those they personally sponsored upon leaving for a new company. And then the policy changed again to where companies required that consultants who left a company not sponsor anyone into the new company. In a few instances, some companies have provided non-compete agreements which aren't considered fair and not even enforceable as a matter of policy in some states, including California. Some companies have gone so far as to tell their distributors they can't participate in any direct selling activity for a certain period of time after leaving the company. Almost all states frown on non-compete agreements as opposed to non-interference agreements because they inhibit people from conducting their livelihood. Compared with the policies of 20 years ago, the extremities in policy have morphed extensively in terms of restrictions. Today, the most common clauses seem to be ones in which companies have moved from the concept of don't recruit anyone unless you've personally sponsored them to during your time with our company, we ask that you not raid anyone in your sales organization, whether you've personally sponsored them or not. Most companies today will also ask that former consultants not raid people in their organization and recruit them to another organization for a period of about 6 months to a year. Most companies will allow consultants to join downlines with multiple companies so long as they don't raid the sales organization. In the party plan arena, companies will often implement restrictions based on product. If you're selling jewelry, for instance, then the company will ask that you not join another company selling jewelry. What happens if consultants raid anyway? As a practical matter, not a legal matter, if a distributor is affecting the entire franchise of the company, having a major impact, a company will not hesitate to file suit and seek an injunction against the distributor. It is a rare instance to see a company pursue a consultant who is very low on the sales genealogy, however, or who has a very limited sales organization. Legal action is usually reserved for consultants whose major rating activities would take a good portion of the business away from the company. Often in situations such as these, there have been bad faith decisions by the distributors themselves, which isn't fair to the company. Is there a right or a wrong? Probably not. However, it is important to the future of direct selling that companies and distributors reach some common ground on acceptable practices by distributors who leave companies and recruit their former colleagues to new companies versus reasonable expectations of companies in restricting distributor movement in a way that is not overreaching in the marketplace. Hope that was helpful.